Bitcoin radio, the sound of the chain.
Hello, friends. I welcome you and hope you are all doing well. Today, we're diving deep into Bitcoin,
Okay.
but not in the way you might expect. Everyone's always talking about the price,
Right.
but we're going beyond that, almost like we're archaeologists dusting off an ancient artifact to reveal its hidden history and meaning.
I like that analogy.
Trust me, this is going to be valuable for anyone interested in cryptocurrency, especially Bitcoin.
Absolutely. It's fascinating how Bitcoin makes us rethink what money even is. We're so used to euros and dollars, we forget that anything can serve that purpose.
It's true. I mean, we use these pieces of paper and digital entries, but throughout history, people have used some really bizarre things as currency. Like imagine using cigarettes
Oh, yeah.
or seashells to buy groceries.
Exactly. And those examples highlight the core functions of money. First, you need a medium of exchange, something everyone accepts for goods and services. Then there's the unit of account, how we measure value. Is that pizza worth 10 euros or 100 seashells?
Right. And the third function, store of value, is where things get interesting. It's the idea that money holds its worth over time. But this isn't always a guarantee, especially in the world of crypto.
That's a key point, especially with Bitcoin. Now, let's go back in time for a moment.
Yeah.
If you look at the history of money, you'll see this fascinating evolution. We started with bartering, then moved to things like cattle or shells, then eventually precious metals like gold.
And gold was the big deal for centuries, right? It was relatively scarce, durable, and you couldn't just create more out of thin air.
Exactly. But gold has its downsides, too. Imagine carrying around heavy gold bars to buy groceries. That's where paper money came in. More convenient, but ultimately just a representation of that gold held somewhere else.
Okay, so then things get even more abstract with modern currencies like the euro or the dollar. They're what's called fiat, meaning their value isn't tied to any physical commodity like gold.
Right. Fiat currency gets its value because the government says so. And that brings up some important questions about trust and control. What happens when governments print excessive amounts of money? Or if we lose faith in their ability to manage the economy responsibly?
That's a scary thought.
Yeah.
And it's where Bitcoin comes in as this radical alternative. It's like,
Yeah.
what if we could create a form of money that operates independently of any government or central bank?
And that's precisely what makes Bitcoin so revolutionary. It's decentralized, meaning no single entity controls it, and its supply is mathematically limited to 21 million coins.
That scarcity is a big part of what makes it so valuable for crypto enthusiasts, right? It's like digital gold, but even scarcer.
Exactly, and that scarcity is baked right into its code, not reliant on someone's promise or a government decree. But it's not just about scarcity. The technology behind Bitcoin is equally groundbreaking.
Okay, I'll admit the tech part can seem a bit intimidating, but I'm ready to have my mind blown.
You don't need a computer science degree to grasp the basics. Let's use an analogy. Imagine we're splitting a restaurant bill, but digitally. Each transaction, like you paying for your pasta or someone else getting a drink, is recorded and digitally signed.
So it's like a unique, verifiable signature on each part of the bill, right?
Precisely. And all those transactions get grouped together into what are called blocks. Each block is linked to the previous one, forming an unbreakable chain of records, hence the name blockchain.
Okay, so I can't sneakily add an extra pizza to the tab without everyone knowing?
Nope, not anymore. And here's the kicker. Everyone in the network has a copy of this entire ledger. It's like we all have a transparent, unchangeable Casson book that can't be manipulated.
But who decides which transactions go into each block? Is there like a blockchain boss calling the shots?
That's the beauty of it. There's no central authority. Instead, we have miners, special computers in the network, constantly competing to add new blocks of transactions. They solve complex mathematical problems, kind of like a digital Sudoku race, and the winner gets to add their block to the chain.
Wait, so they get rewarded for solving these puzzles. What's the prize?
Newly created Bitcoin. It's how new coins are introduced into circulation. This process is called proof of work. And because it requires a lot of computational power, it makes the system incredibly secure.
So the more people try to cheat the system, the harder it becomes to actually do it.
Exactly. It's a self-regulating system, and it's incredibly difficult for any single person or entity to manipulate. This is what we mean by decentralization. It's a whole new way of thinking about trust and security.
Wow, this is already making me rethink everything I thought I knew about money. I'm definitely starting to understand why this is so fascinating for the world of crypto.
And we only just scratched the surface. There's so much more to explore. What's really exciting is that this technology has the potential to address some fundamental issues with our current financial system.
Yeah, we've all seen the headlines about inflation and economic instability. Makes you wonder if there's a better way.
Right. Think about it. We rely so heavily on centralized institutions like banks to manage our money. We trust them to handle our transactions, keep our funds safe, and generally act responsibly. But that trust isn't always warranted, is it?
Not always. Especially when you see news about banks failing or governments printing money like it's going out of style.
Yeah.
And let's not forget about the millions of people around the world who don't even have access to basic banking services.
That's a crucial point. And this is where Bitcoin's decentralized nature becomes so compelling. It's open to anyone with an internet connection, regardless of their location, background, or credit history. It's about financial inclusion and empowerment.
It's like a whole new level playing field where you don't need permission from a bank or a government to participate.
Exactly. Transactions can be fast and cheap even across borders, and your savings aren't subject to the whims of inflationary policies. This has profound implications, particularly for those who have been excluded from traditional financial systems.
I'm starting to see how this goes way beyond just the tech. It's almost like a social movement, a push for more economic freedom and individual control.
You got it. A Bitcoin challenges the very notion that money must be controlled by a select few. It offers a vision of a more decentralized and democratized financial future where individuals have more control over their own economic destiny.
Okay, I'll admit it all sounds pretty incredible in theory, but let's be real for a second. Bitcoin still feels kind of fringe, like something only tech-savvy early adopters are messing around with. Most people I know haven't even touched it.
That's true. New technologies often face an uphill battle for mainstream adoption. But remember, the internet was once considered a fringe technology too. What's crucial is that we understand the underlying principles, the potential benefits, and yes, the risks involved.
So should everyone be rushing out to buy Bitcoin right now? Is it going to replace the euro or the dollar anytime soon?
That's the million-dollar question, and nobody has a crystal ball. What's clear is that Bitcoin has ignited a revolution in how we think about money and value. It's a catalyst for exploring alternatives to centralized systems.
It's like we're witnessing a financial paradigm shift in real time right before our eyes.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And as with any paradigm shift, there will be winners and losers, early adopters and skeptics. But what's undeniable is that the conversation has begun and the implications are far-reaching.
It's exciting, but also a little overwhelming. It feels like I'm only just beginning to grasp the potential here, and there's still so much to learn.
That's the beauty of it. This journey of understanding Bitcoin is an ongoing one. There's always more to uncover, more layers to peel back. We'll continue to explore these topics in future episodes, diving deeper into the practical applications, the challenges, and the ethical considerations surrounding this revolutionary technology.
Well, friends, if you're still with us at this point, you deserve a virtual high five. We've covered a lot of ground today, from the ancient history of seashells as currency to the mind-bending world of blockchain technology.
And we've only just scratched the surface. The world of Bitcoin is vast and constantly evolving. We encourage you to continue your own exploration. Ask questions, challenge assumptions, and engage in thoughtful discussions.
Remember, this is about more than just numbers on a screen. It's about rethinking our relationship with money, exploring new possibilities, and shaping a financial future that works for everyone. And who knows, maybe one day we'll all be splitting restaurant bills with Satoshis instead of euros.
Wouldn't that be something?
I'd definitely be keeping a closer eye on my guacamole intake. But that's a story for another deep dive. Okay, so we've established that Bitcoin is more than just a get-rich-quick scheme or a techie's plaything. It's a whole new way of thinking about money with the potential to change the world. But let's bring this down to earth for a second. What does this all mean for you, the listener? Why should you even care about any of this?
That's the question, isn't it? Even if you never buy a single Bitcoin, understanding this technology is like having a glimpse into the future. It's about being aware of the forces shaping the financial landscape and how they could impact your life.
So it's not just about whether the price of Bitcoin goes up or down. It's about recognizing this larger shift towards decentralization.
Right.
It's like you're watching the early days of the internet unfold, but for money.
Exactly. And this knowledge is valuable whether you're interested in crypto or not. Think about the potential benefits we've talked about. Increased financial freedom, lower transaction costs, greater access to financial services. These are things that could affect everyone.
And let's not forget about the potential for innovation. We're already seeing new applications built on blockchain technology, from supply chain management to digital identity solutions. This is just the beginning.
It's an incredibly exciting time to be paying attention to this space. The possibilities are almost limitless. And as with any new technology, there are challenges and risks to consider.
Right. Like I keep hearing about Bitcoin's energy consumption. How can something that's supposed to be good for the world be so energy intensive?
It's a valid concern and a complex issue. The proof-of-work mining process does require significant energy. However, the debate is ongoing about the sources of that energy and the potential for innovation in making mining more sustainable.
So it's not a simple black and white issue. It's like with any powerful technology, there are trade-offs to evaluate. We need to weigh the potential benefits against the potential downsides.
Exactly. It's about having those critical conversations, being aware of the complexities, and working towards solutions that are both innovative and responsible.
This deep dive has been less about giving you all the answers and more about opening up a whole new world of questions and possibilities. It's about sparking your curiosity and encouraging you to continue exploring.
That's what we hope to achieve, to empower you to think critically about the future of finance and the role that technologies like Bitcoin might play.
So what does this all mean for the future of money? Will we all be using Bitcoin to buy coffee and pay our rent one day?
That's the big question, isn't it? Nobody can predict the future with certainty. But what we can say is that Bitcoin has fundamentally challenged our understanding of what money is and how it works.
It's like a whole new paradigm for thinking about value and exchange.
Precisely. And whether Bitcoin itself becomes the dominant form of money or not, the ideas it embodies are likely to have a lasting impact on the financial landscape.
I'm getting the sense that this is bigger than just Bitcoin. It's a movement, a shift in consciousness towards more decentralized and equitable systems.
You're right. It reflects a growing desire for more autonomy, transparency, and control over our financial lives.
Well, folks, we've reached the end of our deep dive into Bitcoin. And I don't know about you, but my brain is buzzing with new ideas and possibilities.
It's been quite a journey. We've covered a lot of ground from the history of money to the technical intricacies of the blockchain, and we've only just scratched the surface.
But hopefully we've accomplished our mission to give you a solid foundation for understanding what Bitcoin is, why it matters, and what it could mean for the future.
And now we leave you with a final thought to ponder. If Bitcoin represents a shift towards decentralization, what other aspects of our lives could benefit from this approach? What systems could be made more transparent, equitable, and resilient?
Those are great questions, and they might just spark some future deep dives. But for now, we'll leave you to ponder those possibilities.
Until next time.
Please leave a like, or even better, subscribe to this channel. And bye, friends.
And it's forcing the world to grapple with some fundamental questions about how power is distributed and who gets to control the flow of money.
Please leave a like, or even better, subscribe to this channel. And bye, friends.
Bitcoin Radio, the sound of a change.